The movie begins in the late 1800s when a gang of outlaws arrives in a small town called Sweetwater. The leader of the gang is Blackjack, and his right-hand man is Kevin. As they settle in, Blackjack sees his nephew, Sonny, playing with the local kids. Blackjack starts to doubt if Sonny is fit for the outlaw life. He quickly scolds Sonny, telling him to act properly. Soon, Blackjack orders his men to rob the town's bank. Inside, he forces the scared bank teller to open the safe. When the teller refuses, Blackjack shoots one of the teller's fingers to make him comply. Outside the bank, Sonny, who is keeping watch, sees a prostitute named Dolly. Wanting to impress her, Sonny shares one of his favorite books with Dolly, who is known to be kind. He asks her to sign the book. But their interaction is interrupted when the town security forces arrive. One of the gang members warns Blackjack. The outlaws prepare to escape, and in the chaos, Blackjack shoots a customer who tries to stop them. During the shootout, Sonny sees that Dolly has been hit by a stray bullet and needs help. Sonny also finds a fellow gang member wounded by gunfire and helps him. Eventually, the outlaws escape the town with their stolen money. After they have traveled far enough from Sweetwater, Blackjack tells the gang to stop and divide the loot. Knowing that some of their friends have died, Blackjack warns the others that their journey will be even more dangerous and more might die. Blackjack's brother, Badger, who is injured, assures them he can continue. So they move on. A few hours later, Blackjack sees that the security forces are catching up. They must keep moving without rest. Sonny worries about Badger's injury and thinks he needs a break. But Badger insists on continuing, even though Sonny is worried. Unfortunately, Sonny's worries come true, and Badger falls behind. Sonny helps and stays with him during their tough journey. The next day, Badger, weakened from blood loss, falls off his horse. Knowing he is dying, Badger asks his friends to end his suffering, but they refuse. As the others leave, Badger tells Sonny to choose a different life, one unlike their dark existence, a life more like the book Sonny was reading. In a sad moment, Badger asks Sonny to end his pain. Despite never having fired a gun before, Sonny reluctantly fulfills Badger's final wish, ending his suffering. The sound of gunshots caught Kevin's attention, and he returned to praise his nephew for being helpful to the group. Suddenly, gunfire from an unknown shooter behind the cliff surprised them. Sonny had been shot in the leg by the security forces on top of the cliff. Seeing the authorities getting closer, the group quickly fled, leading to a chase and shootout. While escaping, a bullet hit the horse carrying their loot. Blackjack thought about getting the money, but Kevin insisted they leave it to avoid more deaths. Eventually, the security forces stopped chasing them. The gang continued to escape, going through a dangerous sandstorm but finding no safety. After some time, they came out of the storm and saw a beautiful, green landscape, which amazed them. As they traveled through the strange forest, they found a lone Native American man sitting by a useless-looking gate. Soon, they discovered a small town. When Blackjack and his men entered, the townspeople looked at them with surprise. Sheriff Forrest came to greet them. Blackjack lied, saying they were herders attacked by Apache Indians and needed help. Sheriff Forrest was kind and offered them a place to rest their horses, drinks at the bar, and free stay at the hotel. The bandits were surprised by the sheriff's generosity but couldn't refuse. Blackjack asked Forrest to show them the telegram office, pretending to need to contact the cattle owner. Forrest said their town had no connection to the outside world. Forrest then had Deputy Glenn take them to rest, and a woman named Rose led the injured to the doctor. Before they left, Forrest reminded them not to use bad language in the town, except in the bar. As Rose guided the wounded, Sonny asked how long she had lived there. Rose said she had been in the town for exactly 5 years, 1 week, and 2 days. They met Dr. Woods. Blackjack felt he recognized Sheriff Forrest but couldn't remember from where. He told the others that the townspeople were unarmed and could be easy to rob. Back with Dr. Woods, Sonny said he had seen him before. Woods explained that he had lived where Sonny mentioned, but it was before Sonny was born. After treating Sonny, Rose asked how many people he had killed and why they had so little rope for a herding group. Sonny didn't answer, so Rose left. Sonny then admitted he had only killed one person who had asked him to do it. However, Rose didn't seem to care and kept walking. At the same time, Dr. Woods showed Sheriff Forrest, Deputy Glenn, a shop owner named Brooks, and a farmer named Lamb the bullets he had taken from the herding group. Forrest said that these bullets were never used by the Indians, making them suspect that the Blackjack gang was not a group of herders. However, Forrest wanted them to leave town peacefully. Glenn disagreed and wanted to drive them away, but the others supported Forrest, wanting to avoid trouble. Meanwhile, Sonny joined the others at the bar. Blackjack met Woods, who was passing by, and introduced himself as Jack Smith. He invited Dr. Woods for a drink, but Woods politely declined. As Woods left, Blackjack couldn't shake the feeling that he had seen the doctor before. As the sun set, the church bells rang, catching the attention of Blackjack's group. They saw the townsfolk going to the church, including the bar owner. They realized the town was full of religious people. Cavan remarked that their mission would be easy in such a place. Sonny asked Cavan what he meant, but Cavan told him it was none of his business. After the church service, Sonny approached Rose and explained that the man he had shot was dying and had asked to be put out of his misery. Sonny shared this so Rose wouldn't judge him wrongly. Sonny also confessed that he liked Rose. But then, a drunk Cavan approached and attacked Sonny for talking to a woman before him. Cavan even tried to flirt with Rose. Seeing this, Forrest became angry. But before Forrest could act, Cavan pulled out a gun and pointed it at him. Before Cavan could shoot, Sonny knocked him out. After subduing his uncle, Sonny apologized and asked if they should put Cavan in jail. Forrest said they didn't have a jail and then took Rose away. Blackjack asked Sonny what happened, and Sonny said Cavan collapsed because he drank too much. The next morning, Forrest asked Sonny to tell Blackjack that he wanted to talk to him. Curious, Sonny asked Forrest how long he had been the sheriff. Forrest said he had been sheriff for 10 years. After Forrest left, Sonny opened his book and realized that the sheriff looked like Wild Bill Hickok, a famous gunslinger who died in 1876 while playing poker. Soon after, Blackjack met with Forrest. Forrest expressed concern about Cavan's behavior toward Rose the night before and told Blackjack to control his men. Blackjack asked who had knocked out Cavan. Forrest explained that he didn't see any townspeople do it, and since Cavan was very drunk, he could have fallen on his own. Blackjack was curious why an unarmed sheriff like Forrest didn't carry a gun. Forrest simply said they had their own ways. Meanwhile, Cavan and Sonny went to Brooks' shop to steal ammunition. Sonny distracted Brooks by talking about the characters in his novels. Brooks wanted to show Sonny some classic novels he had for sale. Sonny noticed that Brooks looked like the famous outlaw Jesse James, who was killed by his own gang in 1882. But Brooks strongly denied any connection. Their talk was interrupted when Cavan accidentally dropped some items while hiding stolen ammunition in his coat. Cavan gave the stolen ammo to their group. They saw Brooks talking to the sheriff, and it seemed like Brooks had realized Cavan's theft. Tired of being polite, Blackjack told his men to cause chaos in the town. In the chaos, Forrest asked Blackjack to control his men, but Blackjack ignored him. Forrest stood at the church door, blocking the knives thrown by Blackjack's men. Their goal changed from hurting Forrest to killing him. But just as the third attacker was about to throw his knife, something surprising happened. The women of the town gathered above. Suddenly, lightning struck one of Blackjack's men, killing him. Seeing this, Blackjack and his men were shocked into silence. After everyone left, the Native American gatekeeper came and took the dead man's body to a mysterious gate outside the town. At night, Sonny saw Rose praying. He eventually fell asleep but was awakened by the sound of a horse-drawn carriage. The townspeople came out of the church to welcome a new arrival, Dolly. Sonny was shocked because he remembered Dolly had died. Before leaving, the coachman gave a white rose to Forrest and said Forrest could return home in a few days. Confused, Sonny tried to follow the carriage but lost it. The next day, Sonny went to Forrest and Dolly, insisting that Dolly had died in his arms in Sweetwater. Dolly said her name was Aphi and denied his claim. Frustrated, Sonny planned to follow Woods and call out to him. Woods reacted suddenly, as if he were about to pull a gun. Sonny thought this confirmed that Woods was Doc Holliday, a famous gunslinger who died of tuberculosis in 1887. But Woods denied it, saying his reaction was normal for anyone surprised. Sonny wondered if the town was a hiding place for famous outlaws thought to be dead. He believed Glenn was Billy the Kid, a notorious gunman supposedly killed in 1881. Woods then asked Sonny about Rose's true identity, leaving Sonny without an answer. Sonny questioned why they let Blackjack into the town when they could have defeated him. Sonny accidentally revealed Blackjack's real name, reminding Woods of a famous train robber. Sonny begged Woods not to tell anyone. Woods warned Sonny to make the right choices before it cost him his life. Sonny went to Lamb's farm and confronted him, accusing him of being Lefty Slade, a famous gunslinger and criminal thought to have died from multiple gunshot wounds. Lamb denied it, but Sonny quickly checked his left wrist and found a gunshot scar. Lefty Slade then admitted his true identity. Before Sonny could ask more questions, chaos erupted as two of Blackjack's men destroyed Lefty Slade's garden. Angry, Lefty Slade fought back and killed one of them. Overwhelmed with regret, he screamed and cried. The townspeople gathered around Lefty Slade, who said his 8 years in the town were wasted. They noticed a gatekeeper waiting in the distance. Lefty Slade, feeling helpless, walked with the gatekeeper and entered a misty gate. The gatekeeper returned alone, leaving Sonny confused. Meanwhile, in the town, Blackjack's men continued causing trouble. Forrest, calling Blackjack by his real name, told them to leave. Blackjack, angry, tried to attack but couldn't hit the sheriff. Forrest had a chance to catch Blackjack but hesitated, allowing Blackjack to take control. Suddenly, an earthquake shook the town, interrupting everything. Thinking about how his men had died trying to kill Forrest, Blackjack lost confidence and gathered his remaining gang. When Sonny arrived, Cavan stopped him. Sonny sneaked in through the back door and overheard their plans to rob and kill anyone in their way. Cavan also revealed that he had Rose under his control. Hearing this, Sonny quickly searched for Rose and found her swimming in the lake. After Rose got dressed, Sonny saw a bruise on her neck similar to Lefty Slade's scar. He realized this was how Rose had died. Rose admitted she was the first woman hanged in the Arizona area. Sonny then realized Rose was Betty McCullough, who had killed her abusive father with a butcher knife. Rose explained that people forgot the years of abuse she suffered from her father since she was 12. Rose's confession made Sonny understand that the town was a sanctuary for dead criminals, giving them a second chance at life. However, Rose said this was their final chance. Sonny told Rose about Blackjack and Cavan's evil plans. Rose reassured him, saying the town had faced things worse than death. However, Rose agreed to reveal the truth to Forrest and the townspeople. That night, Sonny joined the townsfolk gathered at the church. He learned that the town was a place for dead criminals to seek redemption and cleanse their souls. Each person had to resist the temptations of their past lives for 10 years to earn a place in heaven. One mistake could ruin their chances of redemption forever. Hearing they didn't want to fight, Sonny felt disappointed and decided to leave. Unfortunately, Blackjack and Cavan intercepted him and beat him up. The townspeople saw the fight but stayed silent, not wanting to risk their own chances of salvation. After knocking Sonny unconscious, the two bandits took him to Wood's office for treatment. When Sonny woke up, he thought he was dead, but Rose assured him he was still alive. Forrest apologized for not being able to help Sonny. Sonny understood their difficult situation and said he was willing to face Blackjack's men alone to protect the townspeople. The next morning, despite being weak, Sonny prepared to confront Blackjack's group. Rose and others begged Sonny to run away, but he stood firm. The church bells rang, calling the townspeople to worship. As Dolly pulled Rose towards the church, Sonny declared his love. Seeing Sonny's determination, Forrest decided to stand with him. Forrest realized he had been selfish for 10 years, but Sonny inspired him to fight for others. Woods reminded Forrest he only had 5 hours left to ascend to heaven. Forrest, unfazed, discarded his rose and armed himself with a hidden weapon. Glenn and Brooks followed, knowing their actions would lead to damnation. Sonny was moved by the presence of Billy the Kid, Wild Bill Hickok, and Jesse James standing beside him. Meanwhile, Blackjack ordered his men to set fire to homes. Wild Bill Hickok and his companions confronted Blackjack, giving him a final chance to leave. Overconfident, Cavan tried to attack, but Wild Bill Hickok, with his quick draw, astonished the bandits. One of Blackjack's men tried a surprise attack from behind, but Doc Holliday, who had joined their cause, shot him down. The battle between the bandits and legendary cowboys was intense. After a fierce fight, the legendary cowboys defeated most of Blackjack's men. In the silence that followed, Rose ran into Sonny's arms. Cavan, seeing this, shot Sonny. Though Sonny managed to shoot his uncle in the chest, he didn't die from his wounds and surprisingly felt no pain at all. At that moment, Forrest realized that Sonny had been given a second chance and warmly welcomed him into their town. However, their relief was brief as Blackjack appeared, calling out Forrest's real name and challenging him to a duel. Forrest quickly responded, attacking first. Surprisingly, Blackjack seemed not to feel any pain, making him think he had become one of them. Not willing to accept Blackjack into their town, Forrest aimed carefully and shot him in the head. Soon after, the gatekeeper arrived to take the bodies of Blackjack and Kevin. Passing through the misty gate, the gatekeeper brought them to the edge of a fiery lava ravine. With a grim fate awaiting them, Kevin and Blackjack cried out in pain as they were consumed by the flames. At the gate, Glenn, Forrest, Brooks, and Woods prepared to face the consequences of their actions. Just as they braced themselves, a horse-drawn carriage arrived. The driver smiled and invited the four men to enter, explaining that the Creator was all-powerful but not blind. Their sacrifices had earned them a place in heaven. The coachman also invited Sonny to join them, saying there was nothing more for him to prove. However, Sonny chose to stay with Rose. Hearing this, Forrest passed his sheriff's badge to Sonny. The carriage then carried the four legendary cowboys to heaven, where they found eternal salvation. So the moral of the story is, if your uncle's life advice includes bank robbery and duels with ghosts, maybe consider a career change.